never played this game before. We're going to say buy or sell. I'm going to name a program, and you're going to tell me, and you, out of these probably like 8 programs, you only have enough stock to buy maybe 3 or 4. So you can't say buy everyone. Okay. Virginia Tech with their new coach, buy or sell? Are you buying stock in that program or selling?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Eric. Do you think are you going to
Outstanding.
buy the stock or are you going to sell the stock? Do you believe James Franklin is going to be, a legitimate baller, like Beamer was down there? Is he going to get that program up and running? Because they're not, over 12 seasons, he had like 102 wins. So it averages out to 9 wins a season, and they weren't happy with him. I think they're going to be happy with 8-3, 8-4 down there.
So yeah, I'm going to buy. It pains me to it pains me to say that, but I'm going to say that Virginia Tech is very hungry for wins again. It's been a while since they've had some prominence. They do have resources. They have they have great tradition. They have the facilities. I don't know that that they're going to be contending for a national championship, but I do look for them to have some success. And if that's what the measure is on for buying, yeah, they'll be contending for ACC championships. That conference is already a little shaky as far as keeping its higher level talent. So yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, they have like Old Dominion on the schedule. They start off with like a Maryland the first couple games, and then they kind of. I looked at their schedule. They got to play Pitt and Miami away. Those are going to be probably tough for them. But Franklin has the way of beating Pitt. I think James Franklin he gives me like, I would rather roll naked. Naked, Eric. Imagine that. My hairy back, my bald head, naked in pink fiberglass. Then hang out with James Franklin. But I'm buying. I think he's a good coach. I think he's just a creepy human being. But he's just a creep.
Well, now that you say that, that is nightmare fuel, and I'm going to have to be in counseling to get that image out of my head. But I agree with you. I think that's actually that's actually the thing that was my hesitation in buying. I think James Franklin is probably going to be his own, not just the image of you rolling around naked in the pink fiberglass, but James Franklin. I think a lot of times he is his own downfall. I think his arrogance, and I'm sorry, it's what it is. It's strong. It comes off strong, and I think Virginia Tech. You look at the success they had with Frank Beamer. Frank Beamer was not that guy. Frank Beamer had a lot of support.
That's exactly where I was going to go. He doesn't
take it away.
The culture down there.
Mm-hmm. They are a blue, which okay. Now look, I know we're talking about one of our rivals, but I'll give them some props. They're blue collar. They're hardworking. They were the people that invented the lunchbox. Right. You remember that? Like you made the play, you got the lunchbox.
Right. Before the turnover chain and the whatever that shit they're putting on or crown or that was the OG original. And you're right, Eric. This is the West Virginia live show. Yes, it's the Voice of College Football West Virginia live show. But guess what state is below West Virginia for all you dipshits that I've talked about before when I say, oh, I live in Morgantown or I live in Clarksburg. They're like, oh, yeah, I have a cousin lives in Norfolk. It is the state below us. It's a separate state, but guess what? They recruit, we eat, and we sleep, and we recruit in the same area. So it's relevant. It's relevant because what Virginia Tech does, it affects West Virginia.
Absolutely. I think that's another thing that's actually, that was going into, in the internal, computations there with, the decision to buy or sell.
6-7.
I think we're actually going to be a problem for James Franklin's Virginia Tech. Do you want to go to a school where, let's face it, Penn State hasn't been exciting to watch under Franklin's tenure.
Nope. Not
It,
exciting. No hard edge.
and definitely questionable. The notion too that Penn State is a program that has a lot of resources. I don't know if Virginia Tech quite has that same level. Why would you go to a school then? It's going to have to be an awfully good fit. And don't get me wrong, they'll be plenty successful in the ACC. But if kids are going to be trying to make that decision between Virginia Tech and West Virginia, why would you not want to go to a school where you're going to be in a much more, how should I say, interested viewing market to go display your talents? If nothing else, you're going to be seen across the country, because that was one of the demographics that almost got West Virginia into the SEC years ago when we lost out to Missouri, is that our TV market was very surprising. We actually had a very large audience viewing us, but they were spread out all across the country.
Yeah,
and
that's
that was
hard to
something
get regional like regional folks to like Giant Eagle will support the Pit or whatever. I'm just saying. But he had Pocketbook. He had the Creamery. That ice cream is delicious up there at Penn State, I have to admit. But doesn't have that down in Blacksburg. But another buy and sell. Okay. We talked about him before. Ross Hodge. You buying or you selling? I'm going to tell you I'm buying, because what I've seen 4 games in has been fantastic. I mean, they could lose 3 games, I still believe, because he's getting quality players to take a look. And hey, West Virginia's passing the sniff test when these young men are coming and visiting. And I'll tell you what, I'm buying. And I think, what do you feel? Do you think, I mean, if I match DeVries and him, and I just look at him head to head, I probably would have said DeVries until this past week when he start landing these whales, these fantastic recruits.
So I'm with you, and if I'm buying in on the James Franklin Virginia Tech, that's a quick turnaround stock. I'm not going to stay invested in that one terribly long, because I don't know how long that's going to last.
Right.
And I don't know how. More importantly, I don't know the level of success they're going to have. That being said, with the Hodge father coming in, and Fiona, I loved your question. I think look at what has been done. I know we're early, but look at what's been done with a brand new team. Look at the talent he's amassed. Look at what he's done with the talent he's brought here.
Yeah.
We mentioned Obieha earlier. We have more stars if we look at this class coming in than we've had in a long time, and he's just getting started. This guy is for real. He is legit.
I mean, it's just, and I just can't get over how optimistic I am. I mean, when they hired him, like, he looks like to be the same mold as DeVries. I kind of can see that, but I think the quality and the character of the guy is head and shoulders above what we had before. Okay, I don't want to talk basketball too much more. Let's move on. I'm going to talk about one more program. LSU, as I've just looked, I don't know what they're. LSU, you got to pick LSU. Okay. Do you think they're in or Penn State? If you're a coach and you're picking between Penn State, LSU, Arkansas, F, Mary, kill.
That's outstanding. So Arkansas, they're gone. They're out. I don't even appreciate it, and I appreciate it.
You're going to kill them?
I'm gonna have to kill them. Yeah. Anytime that program's had any sort of sustained success, the NCAA has come in and said, "What kind of violations are you guys thinking? This is not good." If you're gonna fool around with somebody, I mean, Penn State is kind of sexy with the kind of dollars they have. I mean, my goodness, you have such a huge stadium. I get it. Even if your uniforms aren't sexy, there's a lot of other sexies about that program. I'm marrying LSU. LSU has an incredible, the incredible resources. They've got a phenomenal fan base. They have a strong support system that you can attract all sorts of talent, and you're in the talent bed of the South, right there in the heart of it.
And the food is fantastic.
Well, that goes without saying.
Mike Anderson Seafood. If you're out there, I have your cookbook still, and every time I go down there to Baton Rouge, I was there a week and I eat that place 5 times. Mike Anderson Seafood. That was my shameless plug.
Well, hopefully it works for it, and hopefully you'll share if if it pays off.
On deaf ears in Mountaineer land, this Appalachian swath from Ohio to Blacksburg. Yeah, we have fans almost going down there and over to Pennsylvania. But Eric, I agree. I'm going to marry LSU. Marry them. Take them to the altar. Take them, buy them a big rock. LSU, you're my sweetheart. There you go. Okay. I am going to F Suey Hogs because they're in the SEC. They were good in the 60s. I still think they're kind of like they're the team that always upsets another team in the SEC. You can't overlook them. I think they have a good fan base. I don't think their fans are as batshit crazy as the Nittany Lions. Yes, I'm talking to you, my neighbor across the street who went there, and all my friends from high school. No, seriously, they have expectations that far exceed reality. I mean, they had a coach that was averaging over, not 9, high 9s, 9.5 wins a season. Okay. And you know what, guys? I just think now, Frank, it was time for a refresh. I agree it was time for Franklin to go, but I wouldn't have fired him maybe as early as they did. They kind of pulled the trigger quick, but that's neither here nor there. This is the West Virginia show. So I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill Penn State because it's just like, they're just an afterthought. There's already programs. So that's my F, Mary, kill. Did you guys like that in the chat? You just think that was stupid? Vibes are up. Vibes are up. Well, hopefully we are the Cialis and the Viagra of Mountaineer spirit. We get everybody ready to go.